Welcome to Talkin' Baseball. The World Series champion, repeat Los Angeles Dodgers. Toronto, oh no, baby, what is you doing? Let's talk ball.
I mean, you know who I'm going to be.
You know who I'm going to be? Yamamoto.
Miggy Rowe, Van Cleef all over my neck and ears. Homer.
Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball, presented to you by SeatGeek. Folks, you can't go to baseball games for a little bit, but NFL, concerts, NBA, any sports, anywhere that there's a seat, SeatGeek has you covered. It's the #1 rated ticketing app, so go use it. I'm already stumbling all over myself. I'm too juiced up. Use code JMPlayoffs for 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek. 10% off JMPlayoffs. Any ticket with promo code SeatGeek. Again, you can't go see baseball anymore, so you might as well go see something else. I know that's what me and Coach are about to do when this is all wrapped up in about 45 minutes. Thank you, SeatGeek. Thank you, T-Mobile, for bringing us through the postseason. I am Jake Storielli, at Talkin' Jake. That is Trevor Plouffe, number 24 in some circles. Rob Sirocco is here producing his butt off. Dalton Feely is here on the grind as we just wrapped up the 2025 season. Trev, it's kind of the team we thought, but my God, the journey is nothing like what we would have expected. How are you, Coach?
I feel like I need a cigarette, if you know what I mean. I mean, truly, an all-time World Series. We got the 7 games. We got the back and forth here at the end. This series had everything. The storylines were great. We're talking 2 nations going at it. I mean, everything that you could want. I know if you're a Blue Jays fan, you are severely disappointed right now. I know if you're a Dodgers fan, you're elated right now. The rest of us who are watching, I know you might have some animosity towards the Dodgers, but we just got gifted a beautiful series to watch. I think it reminded everybody that's in the sports world out there that there's nothing like the baseball postseason.
When the baseball postseason hits, it's a little different. Like hockey has a very special thing in its postseason,
Sure.
like the way those guys grind and get physical. Baseball has a weird physical aspect. Look at every player on the Blue Jays limping around the field. Like it's a weird mix in these contrasting styles and everything that was out there. It was beautiful, and the different stars that came into play and the non-stars that come into play, because you got to go through that batting order, and anything can happen. It was beautiful. Toronto fans will never be able to understand how beautiful it was because it's awful. It's the worst feeling you can possibly have because it was in their hands. Trev, there's so much to talk about. It's like every inning, it's every play, it's every pitch. That's the other beauty of baseball. The other sports, you could turn your head away for a little bit. There wasn't a lot of times you could do that here. I have a semi-burn. I'm too juiced up and ready to go, but let's crank it. The best words in sports. It's Game 7. Inner Circle Hall of Famer Mad Max Scherzer would try to complete the Jays' Fury Road of an October against the Dodgers, and two-way sensation Jake Shohei Ohtani for Los Angeles. Bottom 3, holy shit. Bichette, 3-run homer off of Shohei. It's 3-0 Bluebirds. In the 4th, Teoscar gets grouchy with the sac fly to chip away, and then Tommy Edman. He is the man. It's 3-2, but in the bottom of the 6th, Jimenez. What fortitude by the Blue Jays to make it 4-2. It would stay that way into the 8th. Max Muncy, that funky Muncy, he sends one into the second deck. It's 4-3. In the 9th, Miggy Rojas, Chris Rose rotation. I think we did a trade draft with him, a free agent. Insane. The man goes big fly after riding the bench to tie up the World Series at 4. Buenos Cantos. And in the 11th, Will Smith is finally the bride after being the bridesmaid on so many Talkin' Baseballs. He is a bad boy for life. Home run into the seats, and his bad boy riding partner is Yoshinobu Yamamoto, pitching on 0 days rest, 2.2 shutout to get the win. It was Ohtani to Robleski to Glasnow to Sheehan to Snell to Yamamoto. Your World Series champions are the 2025 LA Dodgers.
Unbelievable, Jake. I mean, to do it in record time like that, you're just the GOAT. You are you, Will Smith.
Will Smith.
Kendrick Lamar. You want the standings?
Short Kings. The final standings of 2025.
The final standings of 2025 in this World Series, the Dodgers 4-3, the Blue Jays 3-4. Dodgers take the ship. Coach, I forgot Max Scherzer started the game. Like
Trev,
we have so much to cover right now.
Weird place to start. When the pandemic hit, I had just moved to the city, and me and Jimmy, we just started this becoming a real company, and we're like, what the hell do we do? And so we watched some old World Series games and famous playoff games, and we posted.
I was also part of the company.
Yes, you were, and you were amazing out in Calabasas. We just watched these old World Series games, and you're watching these different plays and sequences that you don't know are part of the Buckner game. It's stuff that has to get forgotten over time because you have to forget it. This game is littered with it from start to finish. The fact we're going to look back and see Scherzer and Ohtani is fucking nuts. Sorry, kids. Shane Bieber ends up giving up that last home run. Do we just start from the top and chew through it, Coach? Because there's so much. There's so much.
I think we have to. Yeah, you're right. I mean, and it's going to take us a while because, like you said, first of all, we went to extra innings. Second of all, so much happened. Every player coming in. Quick general thoughts. I put out a few of these on my X, Twitter, whatever.
Nice.
I do think this Yamamoto performance is at best what I thought was, in my time, the best World Series pitching performance, which was Mad Bum in 2014. Mad Bum went 21 in a couple innings, 21.2 or something like that, one earned run, but he was spaced out. It was like 3 days. This was 94 pitches and then 2 1/3 the next night to close out the World Series. That's insane.
Yeah.
Chris Rose said he might be in the pitching plans tonight, and I said there's just no way. That's one thought. Another thought I had was, man, the Blue Jays were banged up and kind of forced Schneider's hand to pinch run at times, and that comes back to bite him just like it did in the 18 inning game. And last thought, two more. One, I thought Dave Roberts did a great job managing. We'll get into all his moves. And two, we got the Hai-Sung Kim sighting last inning of the World Series. LFG. He was on the field when it ended, Coach. What?
That turns into, when that's your favorite team, if you're lucky enough to win the World Series, the final lineup that's on the field gets remembered. And I think Jerry Hairston with the 2009 Yankees gets remembered for that. Randy Johnson with Arizona is the only one that comes to mind for me because he did pitch that next day, and you're just like, what?
Sure. I honestly,
how do you do that?
I don't really remember that. I know that's 2001.
Yeah, 01.
I mean, so I should have remembered that, but
okay.
In my mind, I have the 14 and then that.
Yeah. Let's get into it, Coach, because it's the first inning, and by the way, Max Scherzer's in this game, who wasn't on their DS roster.
Nope.
Healthy scratch. Inner Circle Hall of Famer, 3-time Cy Young, has made the second most amount of money ever playing this sport. 2 different colored eyes. I don't know. If you're new to the show, that's pretty nuts, right? He comes out and strands Shohei Ohtani after a leadoff single. Nice play to cut that ball off. Bottom first, George Springer matches. My God, George Springer in this series. Just insanity. Getting hurt with each swing. Scherzer comes out again, 1, 2, 3. And he looked good. Man, he was throwing 95, 96. You're debating, is this going to be the last time we see Max Scherzer? Like, he hasn't said anything about his final time pitching. And hey, I say this about every month on this show. I hope he becomes one of those old pitchers that just joins a team at midseason every year, because the sport can have that and it's fun. This could be the last time we see him. And the next time we see Max Scherzer, he's on some weird like fishing show or something like that. But I don't know. I hope we see more of him. He looked great. They get out of trouble in the second. Bichette leadoff walk, Addison Barger single, Kirk pop out, Varsho fly out, Ernie Clement single.
Well, they couldn't do anything because Bichette was hurt.
Yeah,
he couldn't run. I mean,
Bichette
Bichette
would have
on the Barger base hits right. That's a Bichette goes first or third, but he can't. Clement with a 2-out knock. Bichette can't score.
Yeah.
They were all over Ohtani, by the way, who was breathing crazy heavy. And I know they gave him extra time in between innings, which is apparently umpire discretion. I'm glad Mark Carlson was there to kind of like break down all of that, because I think a lot of people were wondering what the hell was going on. Essentially, they said, yeah, if you umpire can deem he needs more time, it's no big deal. But the fact that Bo Bichette couldn't run really hurt them in that inning, and then really hurt them later in the game, middle of the game, when he goes to put him at 3-0, you're happy with it. But like the bookends of Bo Bichette's knee really, it kind of, hamstrung this team, if you will.
It was, I will. It was a massive factor on a lot of different, he would have scored on the Ernie Clement single probably. And like you said, the play before that, he advances another base normally. So that is crazy to think about. It's crazy to think about Max Scherzer coming out for the third, 1, 2, 3, 8.
9 in a row, retired at that point.
Crazy. And then in that third inning, like you referenced, Springer, another single. Lucas sack bunt that at the time, I don't know. I wasn't necessarily in love with, but we're the number one baseball show that encourages a good bunt from time to time. And if it puts a run on the board, it ended up putting 3 on the board because they intentionally walked Vladdy. They pitched to him at first. They throw a wild pitch that moves the runner to third, which we said, and I don't know, this is almost baseball's version of in the NFL when there's like a 4th and 3 and they try to draw the other team off sides, but that's what they're doing. Like, baseball's version is like hey, bounce a couple in the dirt. Let's see if he swings. And again, we do that because sometimes it works. In this situation, you knew they weren't going to pitch to Vladdy, but he spikes the first ball, it gets away, and then they throw up the 4s, which, okay, the Dave Roberts meter in this game, it went to the bad side after this one.
Why?
Because if you're going to walk them, just throw up the 4s.
And keep first and second. I mean, I don't know. I still think. I don't think they were trying to. I don't know. You're right. I guess there's a little confusion there, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm having that on Dave Roberts right there. I think he made the decision. Obviously, Bo comes and makes them pay for that with a hanging slider right there, which was, by the way, a beautiful swing. Did we show it yet? Thank goodness. Look at that. That was. And they had the graphic up later. It was like Joe Carter, Jose Bautista, George Springer, Bo Bichette, like big homers in Blue Jays history. And I was like, damn, that's pretty cool to look at. Like, if you think about it that way, like homers we'll be thinking about for a long time. And then obviously it's not going to be that way necessarily. But that chases Shohei, coach. He gets him out of the game.
That behind shot was so cool, where you see Bichette swing and you see the right field bleachers there get to react to it. Love that one. And Shohei, like you said, breathing heavy, didn't look his sharpest in the first inning. A couple of the ball knowers in the office were like, is he throwing just a little differently? That, again, I don't know if that was fatigue, or I don't know if that was the pressure, or if it was just mechanics being off for an inning. But yeah, it was an interesting outing by Shohei. He did not look his best.
No, he had no command of anything except for his fastball, essentially. Smoltz was talking about him like not finishing, kind of going a little early with all his mechanics, and that could be a byproduct of him being fatigued. I mean, my goodness. Like, it's Game 7 of the World Series. He does a lot. So there's obviously reason for him to be tired, but Robleski coming in after that, I
Yeah.
also did not have on my bingo card, especially at the beginning of this series. That's why I think, Roberts did
Yeah.
he earned the World Series because he kept going. He was trying to find who was going to work for him in that bullpen. And in the end, like Robleski was one of the guys. This guy's a hot hand. I'm going to go with him there. He gives up an 0-2 knock to Barger, but no extra blood there. He keeps it 3-0. But again, I think, Roberts figuring that out. That's a sign of a good manager.
Been there before. Been there a lot. And top four, when Trev and I take over, Rocky, Snakes, whatever front office throws us the money, an answer back inning. It just matters more. And the Dodgers do that. After the 3-run homer, the place is going Looney Tunes. And that's what they call their money up there, I think, or part of their money.
Loonies and Toonies.
Loonies. Anyways, sorry, Canada. Will Smith leadoff double. We'll talk about him a lot this ep. Freddie Freeman single. Muncy walk. Teoscar sack fly. So, man, they're Dalton Varsho with the diving catch. This inning could have been a lot worse. The fact it stays at 3-1, almost the momentum of baseball. The momentum ends up going back to Toronto because this inning could have gotten so out of hand.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great defensive inning by Toronto, except for one play. I mean, yes, Varsho comes in, snags that ball. If that gets by him, I mean, that's probably 3 runs, but instead it's a sac fly. Vladdy ends it on the Edman ball, kind of like in foul territory. But the Muncy walk, Kirk had a foul tip, man, in his glove.
Yeah.
The glove was 99% of the time. He doesn't end up doing that. So Muncy obviously walks to load the bases. If he catches that, that's a different story. But all in all, I think where the circumstances got, I think the Blue Jays were very happy to get out of there with 1 run.
Yes, absolutely. Bottom 4. Benches cleared in this game.
I got yelled at by Blue Jays fans for my take here.
Let's hear it.
Well, it was, Jimenez, I know he got, eventually it was 3 pitches up and in, but the second one, he kind of takes his hand off the bat. He's got the pad on the hand.
It was weird.
It is. I don't hate it.
Right.
He's trying to get on base. In fact, there's a few guys at the end of the game who should have done that as well. So he throws the hand out there on this pitch. No, not this one. I think it's coming up here. Kind of throws the hand. It misses him. And then you could just tell Robleski didn't have, great command right there. And I promise you, a guy like that's not throwing at anybody. Okay, he is just nervous.
Especially the 9-hole hitter. I know Jimenez. It's his unique postseason is going to go down in history, but he is not trying to hit him.
But Jimenez is just reacting to. It's not like he was doing anything that we would all do the same thing. It's just common. It's just nature to just say, what the hell, man? Throw a strike.
Right.
But it hit him in the pad. So just go to first base. The last thing you want is for what happened, basically, warnings to be issued, or God forbid someone starts chirping and throws a punch and now somebody's out of the game. This is all the stuff I always talk about with pitchers hitting people on purpose. There's just a butterfly effect with it all. So whatever, nothing ended up happening. The warnings came out, which was kind of crazy to me, to be honest with you. In the moment, I said, there's no way there should be warnings issued right there. Benches cleared. Benches cleared in this game, which is
Clayton Kershaw, the best pitcher of our generation, sprinted out for the bullpen just in case a fight broke out in the 4th inning. That's part of this game.
Just bullpen guys, just stay out there.
If we rewatch this game in a year, I think we would be shocked by almost every inning. Springer infield single, hits it off of Robleski, kind of the
right
ultimate.
After that.
Okay, dude, you want to be beefy? How about this? Lucas strikes out. Tyler Glass now comes in, and again, the Dodgers are navigating a very interesting pitching path to victory. That when you start pressing the buttons, you start running out of buttons really quickly, or every time we think that, the 18th inning game, this Dodgers pen has shown up. Gets Vladdy to line out to end the inning. Top 5, Dodgers strand a couple. Louis Varland comes in the game because that's a requirement, as he pitched in the most postseason games that any player has ever done in a postseason. So snaps for Minnesota Lou. Freddie flies out to end the inning. Let's see, top 5, blah, blah, blah.
Bottom 5, nothing happened. Kirk with the 0-2, 2-out base hit, but that's it.
Top 6. Mookie Betts walks on a 3-2 count. Max Muncy single. Max Muncy in this game, dude.
Yes.
Teoscar, fielder's choice. Tommy Edman with the sac fly. Makes it a 3-2 game. And it's, when you go from, and this is against Bassett, who Bassett had been nails. He'd been probably the best relief pitcher this postseason. It does bring up a little asterisk for him pitching in yesterday's game. They were up 4, and he comes in to close it out. He's traditionally a starting pitcher. This was the least sharp he looked this postseason. That something of note if you're trying to know everything that went down in this game. But yeah, it's 3-0 turns to 3-2, and it's the big bad Dodgers, and I think everyone starts thinking the same stuff.
Yeah, and they had a chance there again. Miggy Rowe got the count to 3-2 with bases loaded, ends up hitting that tapper, gets jammed back to Bassett, so that ends the threat. But you talk about answer innings. Here come the Blue Jays. Clement, who just unbelievable freaking guy, who we'll get there, had visions of riding around a hero on the float, endorsement deals in Toronto everywhere if it wasn't for Andy Pages. 3-1 single to lead it off. He steals second base, no throw. And then Jimenez, full count slider in the gap for the double. Makes it 4-2. And at that point, you just started thinking that this Dodgers offense has not been there. They get this lead back. It's just more Blue Jays ball. Guys at the bottom of the order getting it done. Honestly, this entire game felt like the Blue Jays were going to win. From the get-go, it felt like the Blue Jays were going to win. Like Scherzer having a much better start than Ohtani. Good at bats. Clement doing his thing. Varsho in that inning, catching that line drive. Like everything was working for the Blue Jays. And at this point, again, I was like, the Blue Jays are going to win the World Series. There's no doubt in my mind. In the bottom of the 6th, they're going to do it, man. They bring in Savage in the top of the 7th. Ohtani walks. Smith hits the hanger. And then Freddie hits into that double play, which Vladdy takes, which I thought, and I'm going to smoltz you guys right here a little bit. To the untrained eye, it's like, okay, it's just a double play. But like so aggressively not going to the base at first when you're that close means something. Like he does that a lot, and Blue Jays fans always point that out. Like Vladdy goes for the aggressive defensive play a lot because he has a really, really good arm. One of the best arms for a first baseman that you're going to see. Converted third baseman. That play right there, again, I was like, this is it. Like they're doing Blue Jay stuff right here, and he's fucking fired up right there. That's so cool to see. Everything was going Blue Jays.
So yeah, a couple things I want to go back on. Jimenez's RBI double. He was trying to bunt earlier that at bat, and we've seen that a few times this postseason that they have offered the out, and then this MFer Blue Jay brand of baseball, they end up getting like the big hit. That you're right. Like when Bichette homered, you're like, oh my God, Toronto's going to win the World Series. The Dodgers start sneaking into the game, but when they punch back with Clement and Jimenez again, you're like, oh my God, Toronto's winning the World Series. And then that double play. And I guess a couple things here. Vladdy's defense throughout this postseason was amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Even that diving catch he had earlier on Freddie that ended up in foul territory.
That was Edman.
Was that Edman?
Yeah.
That was an amazing play. I mean, that ends up in foul ground, and Vladdy's there. I was surprised he didn't touch the bag, but, the other perk of getting rid of that is that, the hard part of that double play normally is either the pitcher covering or the first baseman getting back, but because he's so close to the bag, that part of the transaction is out of play. He lets out that roar, and it's Toronto's buzzing.
So really, it's like his internal clock there. Understands the runner, understands, hey, I have enough time here. I can get rid of this ball. Keep Shohei off of second base, if I go back and touch
Right.
the bag, maybe Shohei gets in there,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden, they have a runner in scoring position. So the internal clock there, says I'm going to go there, gets back, and then another point of that was that at that point, because of the double play, Ohtani was not guaranteed to get up again.
Right.
So if they got 6 outs in a row right there, it's game over. Ohtani doesn't get to hit.
We did that on the live stream. We did the Ohtani math, and it's like, wait, you might not see.
Not that Ohtani's like done so much in this series, but it's always, I think everyone was doing that. Didn't they have that last World Series too? Like,
oh yeah,
so many batters till Ohtani's up. I mean, look, I was doing it, and I bet a lot of people were. They were doing it on the broadcast as well.
End of the day, he's still Shohei Ohtani. Like, playoff numbers I do think matter, and we struggle with how to quantify it because it's smaller sample size, but he's Shohei Ohtani, so that's that.
At the beginning of the game, I think it might have been before the game started, Joe Davis said he just called him like the best player of all time. And nobody better than John Smoltz, who I feel like old school guys don't like that.
Yes.
Was just like, yeah. Like, it was like, to me, I was like, wow, we've come to a point now where we're just saying it and nobody's really fighting it.
Smoltz thinks Shohei's a fever dream. Like, Smoltz doesn't think he's alive. Like, Smoltz has been told this can't happen, and he can't believe that Shohei's real. So he just rolls with it. He's like, that MFer right there is not real, and he's kind of not.
Okay. Yeah. To add on to, at this point, Toronto was going to win the World Series. Jack Morris and freaking Paul Molitor are throwing up the first pitch for you. Like, everything is coming up Toronto right now. Everything. Ernie Clement is Paul Molitor, I think, also.
Playoff Ernie Clement is a video game 99, and it just the most postseason hits ever. Trev, the eighth.
Oh, yeah, you can't call Randy Arozarena the best to ever do it anymore.
I don't think we can, because if he was, this might have been Seattle. Before we get into kind of even more juicy stuff somehow, it's all brought to you by Skims. Trev's neighborhood, very familiar with Skims. And I finally found my sweet spot. I had to mess around with the Skims brand, known for their revolutionizing shapewear. They have men's underwear now. Help change your daily routine. The stretch, the cotton, and the sport. Turns out I'm a stretch guy. I always assume I'm sporty because, look at me. But the stretch, that's what I'm looking for. The cotton, if you're looking for the long-lasting everyday wear, or the sports fabric that wicks away the sweat. Skims has you covered on every base with their lineup, so you have options to choose from. Shop Skims at skims.com. Let them know we sent you. After you place your order, select podcast in the survey and select our show in the drop-down menu that follows. Thank you, Skims. Go on.
My friends are watching our show live outside right now on my TV.
Love that.
That's never happened before.
I love
that.
So
shout out.
Let's go.
Kyle and Tyson, yeah.
Calabas. Woo! Little skin. That's a final show tradition. Trev, top 8.
Is that where we're going?
That's where we're at, dog.
Yeah, because Sheehan comes in, does his job at the bottom of the 7th. Okay.
That's,
top 8.
Of a lot of Dodger players that won't get full snaps, Emmett Sheehan, if that inning goes awry and it's 7-2 and we say, well, it was their weakness, so that does deserve the note. Savage comes back out. Hoffman is warming in the pen. Gets Mookie Betts to ground out, and you're like, honestly, the conversation over here, I know the Blue Jays love Hoffman, and rightfully so, like, very talented, has had some big playoff moments. We were looking around like, the Savage double play, if he keeps going, is this just Savage and he becomes the movie character? Max Muncy turns on one. Splitter that ends up in the middle. And by the way, that hasn't mattered for a lot of guys. Savage has had a lot of splitters that end up in the middle and they still can't touch it. That makes it a one-run game, Trev. And now Toronto doesn't know if they're going to win it again.
I still felt like they were going to win. I know that the momentum goes back there. I was also thinking about you Savage and just like what kind of performance he's given. And like at this point, I mean, there's so much at stake that, you just start thinking about like whose life is going to change. We still
Right?
talk about Joe Carter all the time.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't have if he didn't hit this homer. Like these are the times where like literal legends get made, and like Savage had a chance there to do it. And Ernie Clement and all these guys. I mean, that's what you start thinking about in times like this. Muncy, the solo shot, that was a big boy homer. That's kind of all he hits. Like he doesn't
Yeah.
hit like
Big
wall
boy.
scrapers there. 4-3. Hoffman comes in. He gets Edman 4-3 to end the inning. And then we get I mean, I think this is where Dave Roberts really starts to go a little bit here.
Yeah, final note, because when Hoffman came in, I think it was a discussion and like also the idea, okay, if you want Hoffman for the ninth, do you want him to do an up-down, which is a thing with relievers? He had really good numbers career with versus Tommy Edman. I think it was 0 for 7. So they press the button. They get you Savage out of the game on short rest, and it's probably the right move. In the 8th, Ernie, MF, and Clement. What else do you expect? Leadoff double. Hits him with the shrug.
I know. Pretty cool.
Hits him with shrug. I'm going to be managing this team in 2044. Sorry about it.
He looks like Aaron Boone.
So much like him. So much like him.
They showed that swing too, and I think that was a fastball top of the zone, and just like little to like just no movement. Head stays still, eyes are stationary, so he's seeing every ball. It's why he can go and get all these pitches. Like the head is so still, so direct. I hope. Look, I think a lot of people are saying, "Oh, he had a great postseason." Go look at Ernie Clement and what he did this year, WAR-wise, because he's a versatile player and that means a lot. I mean, he put up a 4.3, guys. Like this is a player right here.
Yeah, and he mashed lefties, and this postseason he mashed everyone, and it's a contact bat, and this is honestly last year with Toronto was his first full opportunity. Like I know with Cleveland he got some partial run, and that can just be really hard. Like if you're not a guy in this league, and it's really hard to get run, that I don't know. Maybe it's a late breakout that Ernie's gonna break out 4 more 4-war seasons, or who knows what the next path is in. But my God, he was on everything. He was getting on top of 100 on the top of the zone. Like the at-bats were impressive.
Snell comes in. They have a chance now to add another run. I think if they get it to 2, get that insurance run, I think it's over. I truly think it is over. The way the Dodgers offense like hasn't been there.
Right.
That's what I thought. You have the right guy to do it. You have Jimenez up. You know he's going to bunt. Shows it a couple times. Ends up pulling it back and hits a freaking missile.
Insane.
Right at Muncy.
Trevor, this is the one. I mentioned the moments in games that you kind of forget just because, Will Smith's home run has to be remembered forever, and a couple other moments. This one is the one that I think if you rewatch, your jaw would just drop. Like, this was the perfect symbolism of these Toronto Blue Jays. Jimenez, again, trying to bunt, pulls it back, ropes one. And it is in like the 10 square feet that you couldn't hit it because Max Muncy's body is turned. We saw this when they had the special wheel play that we complimented them on against the Brewers that was so amazing, that Max Muncy's turned sideways, that it's near his glove, that if it's anywhere else, if it's on the other side of his body, if it's a little more out, if it's a little higher, it's a down the line, and we're talking about Andres Jimenez as a superhero who never has to buy a drink again in Toronto. And instead, it turns into an out, and you're just like, again, that was the first uh-oh.
Yes, this is where I thought, okay, if they keep it within 1, anything can happen. And you do, as a third baseman there, because you have to have your eye on the runner at second base, you can't just like go in too far and have Clement just steal third base because nobody's going to be there. So you have to be shifted over a little bit like Muncie was, just so you can keep your eye on him. I don't know what's it called, not a lucky play, a great play by him. But yeah, that ball could have easily got down the left field line. All of a sudden, we're sitting 5-3. Jimenez on second base,
Right.
and with a chance to add on. Instead, get that out. Springer, I mean, Snell got nasty on Springer for the K right there. Like real nice stuff. And then they pull the Davis Schneider button.
Yep.
He pinch hits for Lucas, and Snell K's him as well. Kind of like a redemption inning for Snell after a couple bad starts, and in my opinion, a bad post-game press conference when he said these guys just kind of got lucky on me. But hey, he backed it up, did his thing.
He was filthy.
That's nasty, Coach.
It's video game stuff that he has to work with. And yeah, at the same time, you're doing all the World Series moments that you're like, this MFer Schneider with his mustache and 5'9" wrestler frame, is he about to become absolute folklore? It doesn't happen for him, but it's okay. Because it's 4-3
outs away.
Hoffman comes in and you go, okay, here's Kike Hernandez. I seen this one. Hoffman gets nasty on him. Bangs a couple beautiful sliders, strikes him out. Miguel Rojas comes up, and you're wondering, I don't know, are they gonna try to just push the Pajes button and hope that maybe the mental reset has done something? Hi-Sung Kim, we've become his biggest fans because we're like, are we ever gonna see him? They let Miggy Rowe go out there.
Oh, I did not think they were going to pinch hit for Miggy Rowe because he had great swings. Like he was.
I didn't think so
well.
either, and he has a contact bat that you're like, okay, he's going to give us a shot, which Pajes proved he kind of did not. And again, Hi-Sung Kim we've now built up in our heads as something else. Miguel Rojas hits a game tying. Please.
3-2 pitch, right? And what are you saying if you're Miggy Rowe with the guy behind you? They ain't walking me. They're coming right at me with a heater.
Yeah.
He gets a slider, Coach.
I know.
He gets a slider, stays on it, stays through it enough, and has his freaking hero moment, man. Just an unbelievable swing. I don't know what there is to say, man. Again, this is another Dave Roberts needs a little slap on the butt right here for, pushing that button in game 6, getting him in there, changing things up, because this guy, not only did he provide this beautiful moment for the Dodgers, but later in the game makes some incredible defensive plays because that's what he does. We saw it to end the game last night. We saw him to save the game here in the bottom of the 9th. We'll get to it, but this swing right here, again, a 3-2 slider. That was my favorite reaction all night, by the way. They just showed Dave Roberts when he was just like, oh my God. It's Miggy Rowe. And we root for him. He was like with our company. You mentioned he did a free agent draft. Like he's like been part of it, man.
Was kind of horribly inappropriate. Like, and in hindsight, we were like, oh, Miggy Rowe's going to join us. And then I was like, oh, shit, he's talking about guys going to other teams. I was like, are we going to hear from the PA about this? And
they have their own issues right now.
Nothing. We'll get there later.
We'll get to that, people.
We'll get there later in the episode. He's just, Rob produced Chris Rowe's rotation for a long time. And like, Miggy Rowe of that crew, like, I don't want to say it doesn't get better because they're all kind of different types. Like Glasnow's a great cat, but Miggy Rowe's an all-world.
I think he did the most episodes. Like he's awesome. He's unbelievable. Such a nice guy.
Oh, and the other thing was a lot of position players didn't want to do it because they were in the everyday grind. Whereas like pitchers, oh yeah, Chris Rose, I'll do it on my off day, or oh, I just had a good start, yeah, I'll do it this week. Miggy Rowe is just like, all right, yeah, I want to get involved in this. So I don't know. Again, maybe we're flying too close to the sun there. But a guy who had. These are his home runs per season the last 4 years. 7, 6, 5, 6. It's where baseball is a separator, man. We were trying to describe it before. Like, basketball in a big moment, a dude's going to get the rock. Normally, we have our standouts in different moments that happen, but, like, Miguel Rojas was coming up to the plate, and he just hooks a ball down the line, and it's the first player to ever hit a game-tying homer in the 9th or later of a winner-take-all World Series game.
Unbelievable. Miggy Rowe. Miggy Rowe.
And just a reminder, his first year when he signed with the Dodgers was not good. Not good, and they think about all the talent they are able to go out and get, and they stuck with that guy, and the fact it paid off like this it's truly unbelievable. Like, actually unbelievable. But Shohei flies out, which was scary for a second because, again, the way that the ball comes off
first
that guy's
pitch,
bat.
like he was just swinging the rest of the game. Didn't care.
Will Smith strikes out. Let's see if he makes up for it. Bottom 9, Trevor. This is nuts, dude.
This is crazy, this inning.
Because we were streaming, so you're like outputting a lot that you're not depositing as much info. Vladdy flies out on a ball that you pause for a second.
3-0 pitch. I said he's swinging right here. And Blake pulls the string a little bit, throws him the change, and just gets him out in front. Like, I think Vladdy has to know that he's just not going to get pumped the 3-0 heater there. At the same time, it's hard to turn your brain off like that as a hitter.
Right.
You're like, 3-0, I'm about to end this fucking game. And that's going to be my statue pose. That's what it's going to be outside of Rogers Center. Just gets to live out in front of it. I think everyone that was here, I had a bunch of Dodger fans here, obviously. They kind of looked and gasped audibly. But fly out to center.
And again,
Bichette comes up.
Again, this isn't how baseball works because you can't, the predetermined fallacy or something like that. Michael Kay says it, and I try to input it, but I'm not good. That would have been a Vladdy walk. Like, that would have been ball 4. So, again, where the inning goes, it doesn't work like that. But Bo Bichette single, and they pinch run with my guy IKF.
You have to. I can't. I'm not even mad at Schneider for that. After seeing this go back to the 3rd inning.
Right.
You have to pinch run for him. He could not run.
So you have to go back to 2 things. You have to go back to the 18-inning game, which your team became completely depleted. And again, you're not playing for 18, but it's
because go back, Straw is now in the game because Lucas got pinch hit for by Schneider and Straw replaced Schneider defensively. So now your 2-0 hitter is Miles Straw. So your 4-0 hitter is now IKF.
So it's a decision. And I guess here's what I'll say. When it happened, I said, no. Like, how you got to learn from your mistakes in life. That's the only way to get better. When the next batter, when Barger walks the next at bat, crazy at bat, by the way. That guy is a lunatic. Do you have like a player? I know this is horribly unfair. I'm trying to think of someone that like reminds me of the way he plays baseball, and I can't do it. Like, it's violent, and he can hit anything. Like, I don't know. I guess if you've got a player comp, it's like some Chipper Jones, very light in there. I don't know. It's just
he swings so hard. That's what I think of. Like, it's a max effort swing, no matter what. I love watching him play. I told you from the get-go. I mentioned him early on in the Blue Jays season. This guy's different. You can just tell. Like, he's a hitter. He had a great World Series. He had a great postseason. So very happy for him. He gets the walk.
By the way, this is all off Snell, right?
Yes. So Snell's in.
By the way, Snell's first relief appearance since 2019. So again, that's a lame excuse we could make if we wanted to, but we're not.
Think about it. If you're Dave Roberts or a Dodgers fan, you tie the game with Miggy Rowe, then all of a sudden, here we go. Bichette's on first. Now we get a walk, and Yamamoto comes in, which they said it was going to happen. We saw him warming up. My first thought was, where's Roki? I know he threw a lot of innings, a lot of pitches the night before.
So did
Yamamoto threw 94 pitches. I didn't think it was possible. Like, this doesn't happen, guys. Okay, so like, Dodgers fans, you got to go with your dog. I'm like, dude, he just pitched last night. This isn't like a Madison Bumgarner where he had a 3 days rest or 2 days rest, whatever it was. Like, this was literally less than 24 hours ago. The guy threw 94 pitches, but he's a dog, man.
Yeah.
And respect to the Japanese culture. Japanese baseball is different. Love it. They do it. They throw more pitches there. They pitch more frequently there. It is in him. He comes in and hits Alejandro Kirk to load the
So yeah, the two things in there. He comes out and you're like, okay, is the stuff going to be the same, or are we going to be talking about this like grimy Yamamoto battling? First pitch is a 93 splitter, and you're just like, my God, dude, you're not.
You hit 97 with a heater.
You're not human. You're built differently. And then he leaves the splitter. Kind of, it just keeps running in, and it catches Kirk's hand. And the look on Yamamoto's face is just kind of like that. Damn it. Like, okay, I was trying to be too cute. I guess I can't do that now. Please.
Can I go anti-John Smoltz now?
Sure, always.
If you're watching this program, like chances are you played a little ball, like just
Yeah.
at any level.
Hell yeah.
And you probably pitched. I mean, I'm assuming everyone like got to pitch a little bit.
I
Not
know,
really?
man. Yeah.
Okay.
Pitching was like,
Okay, let's just say you did, and you could get this even if you
Right.
didn't pitch. You throw, your arm hurts the next day.
sure. I think
Like it hurts.
I think people listening can
Like,
can connect to
Your
that.
arm
Yes.
hurts, dude.
Yes.
It does. It's sore.
Big facts.
And you can't move the same way. And here he is coming in. And as you mentioned, the splitter still had the velo on the fastball. It's truly is remarkable.
Well, and
Remarkable.
The other thing that cracks me up is like they were like, oh, and this guy's got this crazy workout routine. Like he throws different stuff and he's super flexible and he stretches, and it's like, oh, I don't know. Maybe we should look into that just a little bit more
Like with every pitcher.
instead of getting like every 6'5"
Oh, you don't like a velo slap and just go throw the rock as hard as you can?
every
You don't like that?
6'5" oaf from the south and make them just throw it as hard as possible. Like, let's stretch.
Oh, the driveline guys are going to be in your mentions.
Good. Good. I'm ready. Blitzball Battle. Blitzball
I need
Battle
it. I need
7
it.
drops November 9th. Get ready for that.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
See, this is what I was worried about.
You almost died.
And just cut the video. It's a lot of bulge. Kirk gets hit by pitch. It's bases loaded. And
One out.
Think about all the different. This is where I think baseball fans appreciate the game differently. If Snell spikes a slider, it hits the front corner of the plate and shoots away, the World Series is over.
Yamamoto was in.
Yamamoto, excuse me. Another splitter runs in. That's it. That's all. Toronto's got it. Dalton Varsho, who was really in the bad place. Some of the stats and some of the swings.
Hey, you called it. He got moved down. Flip with
Yeah,
Barger.
how about that? That was just kind of normal Jake talking out my butt stuff, but they saw the same thing. But this is like the perfect scenario. Like, he has to throw you strikes. He throws a first pitch ball that you're like, okay, dude, he's going to be in and around it. If you hit a good fly ball, you're now hero Dalton Varsho. If you hit one of your infield balls and it's the right area, you're a superhero. He hits one. It's at Miguel Rojas, the guy that was out of the lineup until Game 6. He double clutches. And, I forget if I was going to say this with Bichette before. When they walked Barger and IKF goes to second, so I was like, I wouldn't have pinch run. When he got to second, I would have pinch run. So, again, we're split.
Sure.
We're split in the atom there a little bit. But the other problem is IKF isn't a super speedy runner.
He's not. You have to pinch run no matter what there, even before second base.
I get it. I understand. I'm a little spurned from that 18-inning affair that you and me were at, and when we went into the family restroom during the 15th inning and did what we did.
Oh, what?
Varsho
Don't say that.
hits one at Miggy Rowe. And, man, this is where baseball is just a sick, disgusting sport or a beautiful sport. Because Miggy Rowe, you see the double clutch, and your eyes get wide. Just because you know, okay, that's kind of an unnatural throw. This is a guy who's played more shortstop than second in his career. His body is kind of contorted that it's not going to be an easy throw. And with that double clutch, is that going to be the difference between winning or losing the World Series? The throw beats it by a stride. Will Smith's foot is on and then off home plate that we're double checking that. Trev, I don't know. I need to hear it from you. IKF secondary off third wasn't what you want to see if you're a Blue Jays fan watching that replay.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Not even close.
Damn, man.
You don't want to get like doubled off with a line drive. I guess you could be thinking that, but you're not really worried about a back pick because you have. Well, no way, it was Varsho, so you have to give a little bit of credence there to a back pick. At the same time, it's a ballsy play for a catcher to do in that situation. He's kind of focused on blocking balls, right?
And not throwing a ball into the outfield to lose the World
Exactly.
Series.
So, didn't love the secondary, but I want to give more credit. I don't want to more credit to Miggy Rowe on this play because you have a top spin ground ball on turf. This is not grass. So that second hop is even on grass. The second hop of a top spinner is going to shoot at you. And this is exactly what the ball did. And he knows that. That's why you see him kind of backstep this ball, go down to make sure he catches it. And then his feet just kind of got tangled up a little bit. That's why the double clutch was there. Like it was the feet. It wasn't the hands. Gets up somehow, is able to get on top of that ball because from where his body was, he's got the shoulder up. You really got to try to figure out a way to get on top. You'll see him just try to really get the fingers on top. Throws a strike, and you're right. Will Smith like barely hangs on right there. And if the World Series had ended on that, I mean, I know you'd be happy as a Blue Jay fan, but like that's a very anticlimactic way for the World Series to end.
Trev, this, again, I will say, sick but beautiful sport that we love. Will Smith is an inch away. Like if his foot stays up for a little bit longer from being an all-time what is you doing, baby, and a little spoiler, what happens future, he's the hero of the game. That's insane. And we're not out of the inning, pal, because who's coming up? Ernie Clement with the most postseason hits ever, and he hits a ball that's got a little bit of juice on it. The outfielders look like they're still playing in a little bit because of, I guess, A, Ernie Clement, and B, from playing in. Andy Pages, who came in for Tommy Edman because he has a stronger arm on the bases loaded situation.
He didn't start the inning. He brought him in.
Mid-inning. I was wondering if they were going to do 5 infielders. No, they bring in Pages for Edman, which that's a big move. And he goes Randy Moss on Kike, who, okay, I'll say this. So not everyone got to pitch. If you got to play outfield at some point of your life, whether beer league or anything, that feeling when you got a fly ball but you don't, that's what Kike's body was doing.
Well, yeah, go back to the start there. There was one point where they show Kike running after that ball. I said, the game's over. Like, keep going. Right about there.
That little twist. No way. That little twist, yeah.
There's no way. He's not going to catch that ball. And, Kelly League, Bad News Bears, Andy Pages right there just says, get out of here. Kike, by the way, after that, when he came up and, in the next inning, fell when he was running down first base. Like his body's got to be pretty banged up right now.
And hey, again, maybe we're getting way too deep into this game, but it's the World Series, I suppose, and an all-time game and an all-time series. We talk about like the baseball player mentality of confidence and trying to ignore everything. Andy Pages with one of the worst offensive postseasons I think we've ever seen, and we try not to be critical of guys if there's not a reason to be, because this sport is brutal to play. We got pretty tough on Pages. For him to come out mid-inning, a do-or-die ball for the World Series and say, I don't care what Kike's doing, I'm catching that MFing ball. Imagine if that hops out of his glove.
Well, I don't think he knew Kike was even around it. Neither of these guys knew the other one was there because it was so loud in the stadium, and he's just tracking that ball. The roof was closed, right?
I believe so, yeah.
So like there is that aspect, like it's a closed roof. Like sometimes the ball goes up and you might not be able to track it the entire way. He was just on that ball, and he's much bigger than Kike.
Yeah, that's what we found out in that moment, huh?
Because if they were the same size, I don't know if that play ends up the same. He just literally went over Kike and took him out, dude.
That's nuts.
So he makes a play, and Ernie Clement, I said this to the people that were here. I was like, dude, like that guy hits that ball, sees Kike do what we saw him do, and he's like, I just won the World Series. I am him. I am him. Like, I am the guy.
Right.
Like, everyone's gonna know who I am for the rest of my life. And then Andy Pajes takes that away from him. He snatches eternal glory from Ernie Clement. That's not an exaggeration. That is what happened. Eternal glory snatched.
And now we're in extras, and it's brought to you by our friends at DraftKings. And not a lot of baseball action left, but the NBA is rolling. Hockey is rolling. So if you're looking to get in the game, go check out our friends at DraftKings. Bet live on props and in-progress games right as they're happening. And if you're a new customer and you bet $5, you get 3 months of League Pass and $300 if your bet wins, paid out in bonus bets. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code JAMBASEBALL. That's code JAMBASEBALL to get $300 in bonus bets instantly if your first $5 bet hits. Plus 3 months of NBA League Pass in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Okay. So let's roll the ball out there for extras in the World Series. Rob Manfred in the script. Well done, my friend. Uncle Bobby, you did great. Here's the bases loaded with Dodgers. 1 out, and they do not score. Mookie walk, Muncy single, Teoscar walk.
Who Pajes had a chance to be the hero. I mean, and how many times do you see a big play? Nah, it didn't happen, though.
No, he hit it to the guy with some of the smoothest hands and footwork I've ever seen on a baseball field in Jimenez. And then Kike grounds out, and oh boy, down the line to first. And I know Yankee fans were having flashbacks, and like there's that moment of you got it, I take it. And the
Vladdy's a dog. Vladdy's a dog. I'm sorry.
The footwork at the bag by Sir Anthony. It's a half step away from being a disaster. Kike, that look is going to go down as I don't know.
He got bodied up there too by himself. He ends up falling on the ground again, dude.
Tough inning and a half for Kike. But they get out of it. Sir Anthony, who's clearly he's given up a couple important homers, that he's not the most trusted guy, but a guy that he gets through it, that it's bottom 10. Yamamoto 1, 2, 3. Like, you're just like, who is this guy?
Well, again, Jimenez, Springer, and then instead of Lucas or I guess Schneider, it's Straw. And so there's that pinch runner coming back, and the lack of both these teams. A little observation after the fact, like the benches, not great. There's not great benches.
Yeah, the Dodgers could have used a pinch hitter.
A lefty pinch hitter.
And for Toronto, the problem was they had all the pieces, but they all needed other pieces to work. Like, okay, Davis Schneider, you pinch hit for his lefty, but now we have to put Miles Straw in. That it was like every transaction was like 2 transactions.
Yeah.
I think that really ended up hurting them. And, dude, the Bichette stuff is so brutal in hindsight. Like,
I mean,
him being banged up like that.
He was worth it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I mean, I'm just saying the pickle it put him in that you're like, you have to sub him out. And it's like, do we? The guy that hit the 3-run homer? I'd rather not. That's about to get $200 million in free agency. And yeah, Springer was down 3-0. He doesn't swing 3-0, which that's part of his signature. And then he kind of ends up expanding because he knows who's behind him in the lineup. You could say, I don't know, Yamamomo, also gross. And in the 11th, here comes Shane Bieber. Cleveland Cy Young winner. This Toronto stop could go down as an all-time vagabond, pitching them through the postseason. I don't know. He gets 2 quick outs. Miggy Rowe, ground
4
out.
pitches.
Shohei, ground out. Wow, Toronto, they got the sauce back. Will Smith, 2-0, middle, hanging slider. He turns on it. It's an absolute nuke. First ever player to homer in extra innings of a World Series Game 7. He also caught 73 innings in this World Series. and he was injured and didn't play in the DS until game 3.
Yeah, they weren't allowing him to like catch a whole game. It was,
Crazy.
this guy comes back, does what he does. 2-0 slider, stays through it. I love the shot of Kirsch
Yeah.
going nuts. I mean, at this point, I'm going to make it about myself because that's what I
Nice.
do.
Perfect.
Guys were watching outside, girls were watching inside, and somehow that TV inside got like this far ahead of our TV outside. And so we heard this big uproar, didn't know what it was. All of a sudden, Will Smith into the freaking bullpen, man. And you mentioned a lot of the time we talk about other catchers and Cal Raleigh and who was it before that? If it wasn't Cal Raleigh, they would always get him.
Well, yeah, it's for, I guess, new listeners because this big episode, World Series dynamic. We do an all JM team every month to keep people updated through the year. And Will Smith was seemingly always second. It was JT Realmuto, William Contreras. Like, there was always just a guy that was like a nose ahead of him. And on this Dodgers team with all these superstars, that Will Smith also has the name of one of the more famous superstars in the world. He blended in too much, and I don't think that can possibly happen in it anymore.
No, it can't. And just, I don't know, man. And for it to be a catcher, you mentioned all the innings that he caught all 18 of that 18-inning game, coming back to do this cross-country flight. Like, those guys get banged up so much. And here he is in another extra inning game getting the job done. And it was a thing of beauty. It really was.
But the game wasn't over, Coach. That's the crazy part. Because in the 11th, Bieber, hey, you want to be a pitcher, kid? This is the number one thing that blows my mind. You might have just lost the World Series. Now pitch to Freddie Freeman, and he gets him. So that's insane to me. Bottom 11, here's Vladdy. Are they going to walk?
Yamamoto's still in.
Yamamoto's still in. Who are they going to? Where's Roki?
Where is Miggy Rojas, who got taken out? We don't know why. I'm sure somebody in the chat probably knows. We're doing the show, so we don't know. Hai-Sung Kim, who I've been asking for.
Right.
I thought he might pinch hit for Pajes.
Right. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. comes up, and you're like, okay, A, where's Roki? Where's anyone in the bullpen? Is this just Yamamoto's game? Okay, they're probably going to pitch around
Kershaw
Vlad.
started warming up.
I know, dude. We'll get there. That the fact we got robbed from that is kind of insane. Vladdy hits a leadoff double on so many at bats that Trev, you coach, unbelievable. How Yamamoto battled in that. The take by Vladdy on the was it a splitter in after the 97 fastball that was the perfect plane of that same pitch that he just took for a strike, for him to take that and then somehow get his hands in to hit a double to lead off the inning. And now IKF, who's behind him from the Bichette sub, you're like, okay, now he can bunt. We could get him to third. IKF lays down a beauty. As good as he can do. And I know Yamamoto's a stud, but man, think of everything you just mentioned. Like, we've seen a lot of pitchers.
Oh, dude, 9 out of 10 pitchers zoo that ball. Like, that's not even an exaggeration. 9 out of 10 do not make that play.
I mean, that is as hard of a PFP as there is. And Yamamoto, being the freak athlete he does, makes it look kind of easy, which is crazy. And I think that becomes one of the themes of this. So Barger comes up, and it's the intentional walk. Because behind him is Alejandro Kirk, who I think something that is highlighted, we just talked about it with the bench, or even, okay, what if Yamamoto was one of these 6'5" Southern oafs that couldn't field, that bunt is IKF on first, and now they have to pitch to Barger. So, like, it's where we talk about and why we appreciate such well-rounded baseball players, because it comes into every play that Alejandro Kirk, who is an amazing baseball player, he's built different in a beautiful way, IMO. He's one of the best catchers in the game defensively. He's one of the best catchers in the game offensively. His Achilles heel, he's one of the slowest players in the league. And he hits the chopper to short, man. 0-2. He got a curveball that it looked like the pitch before, if he released, could have been a ball he turns on. Mookie steps on second, throws to first. Heartbreaking. If he hits a fly ball there, we might still be playing baseball. Brutal.
I mean, tailor-made, right to Mookie, takes it himself. And all those Dodgers fans who told me this is a flawed team. You didn't watch them for 162. You would have known that they were never going to be in this series. They just won the World Series back to back, by the way. And all these guys are coming back. All of them.
Yeah, right.
All of them.
Miggy Rowe, we'll see. Dodgers.
Unbelievable, coach.
Dodgers win their second consecutive World Series, the first team to do it since the Yankees, the first NL team since Chris Rose's Big Red Machine in 75-76. First team to ever trail in the ninth inning of a World Series Game 7 on the road and come back to win. They batted .203 as a team, Trev.
Yeah.
The worst mark by a champion since 1966. I don't know.
Robbie, can you get that video up again? Run it all the way back and show Dave Roberts. There was one guy that came out of the dugout, and it looked like he thought Dave Roberts was waiting to give him a double high five.
I saw that.
Top. But Dave was looking at somebody in the stands, and the guy was like, "Oh, okay, no, not this one. The next
the
one,
follow-up one."
This guy's like, "Hell yeah!" And Dave's like, "Hey guys."
That's brutal, Trev. I can't believe you caught that too. Oh my God.
I love awkward exchanges, coach. You know that.
No. I don't.
White guys are just not good at answering.
It's not what we got. I don't know what I have. Shohei Ohtani, 23 World Baseball Classic champ, 2024 World Series, 25 World Series. Mookie is a 4-time champ. That's Ohtani and Yamamoto's, by the way, because they were teammates on that Japan team. And now, the Los Angeles Dodgers. George Springer, 3 hits in this game, grimacing after pretty much every swing. What an absolute dog. UConn, go Huskies. Andres Jimenez, 8 for 19 with runners in scoring position.
Dog.
Almost 9 for 19. If a moth landed on a plant somewhere differently in the world, he's 9 for 19 and a postseason hero forever. Barger was in discussion for World Series MVP. 6 multi-hit World Series games. Bichette's playing on one leg. He hit the homer. The whole thing.
I'm exhausted, coach. This series took it out of me. This was an all-timer, and again, I mentioned at the beginning of the show, if you're a Blue Jays fan, and you said it, I think very poetically, you'll never get to realize how beautiful this was.
No.
It's tough because as an outsider, just watching 2 teams go at it. That's why I got the double hat here. Unreal. An unreal series.
Do we need to do any Chris Rosie stuff? Do we need to do Dodgers Dynasty? Does that do anything
How
for
are they
you?
not? Yeah, they're already a dynasty.
Yeah. Yes. And it's going to be, like you said, everyone's coming back. We haven't seen a team do that since 2000. I mean, we saw how tough the road really is. I guess that's what I would like to say. As someone who's still got comments and tweets every day, this guy's hating the Blue Jays. This guy hates the Dodgers. I'm just watching ball, man, and it was awesome. How hard it was for the Dodgers to repeat, I think, shows just whatever it is with this sport, that whether it's injury or timing or luck, if you ran this simulation a few times, maybe Andy Pajes or Teoscar have amazing postseasons. They did not this postseason. Snell, before this performance, was having a historically bad World Series, technically by earned runs allowed. That it's just near impossible, whether it's a super team or not. congrats to the Dodgers. The next steps are going to be fascinating to see how much they build and add to this team.
The one guy that we know is not returning, Highland Park.
Yeah.
Clayton Kershaw gets to warm up. He gets to feel it a little bit in Game 7, right?
We got robbed.
I was saying if Barger gets out, they walk Kirk to go first and third, and then you bring in Kershaw to end it against Varsho with the possibility of him having to face Clement.
I think he was coming in for Dalton Varsho.
Anyways,
Dodgers, I think
he gets the feelings though, which I think is cool. Right? Because he ends
without the risk.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So he gets who did he get? He got Lucas in the 18-inning game, which will be his last pitch ever thrown in a Major League Baseball game. We have video of ourselves reacting to it, which I think is really cool. He gets the little goosebumps warming up in the bullpen Game 7, and then he gets to run out, and now he's spraying champagne all over everybody, drinking beer shirtless. I'm almost positive of that. I haven't seen any videos, but guarantee shirts off. But I think we'd be remiss if we just didn't mention what a career and what a way to go out for a guy that's going to have a statue outside of Dodger Stadium. We went out there and paid homage to the statues, you and I.
Yeah.
I wanted you to do the Jackie Robinson slide. I was going to do the Sandy Koufax pitch. Pretty soon there's going to be a Clayton Kershaw right there. Probably, I'm assuming this thing, whatever he did,
Yeah.
So shout out Kersh, man. Cool to see.
Yeah, that reaction we showed from him, the Will Smith homer out in the bullpen, acting like a little kid, it's something that only sports has. And yeah, excited to see what's next for Kersh. Toronto, man. I don't know. I wouldn't want to hear from me if I was a Blue Jay fan. An incredible run, like no doubt, and the sadness I can't really imagine. The most hits in a single postseason, the most runs in a single postseason. Baseball's really hard, and everything I said about the Dodgers, which some people think are a super team, are now considered a dynasty. To get back is so hard that it's just Vladdy's going to be there. And, man, how about this? I'm not, because I don't want people to spin it as Yankees and, he's saying Toronto's not going to go back. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. has established himself as a dude top, I don't know, I'd have to look at the list, but how he was playing defense at first.
Yeah.
And this is, every time we do this game, if there's a third baseman who's not killing it, it's like, hey, maybe first could work. Look what Vladdy did defensively this postseason. Insane. Never mind being one of the scariest men I've ever seen at the plate with a bat in his hand. Winning at bats against dudes that couldn't be beaten by other guys. Like Yamamoto was invincible. He was Superman. Vladdy beat him.
I think there were times where we, and rightfully so, I believe, we questioned what kind of player is Vlad. Is he the superstar? Is he just a really good player? Because those are two different things. Right. He's cemented his status as a superstar in the game. I don't think there's anyone that can question that now.
And he's
got
26.
The contract, had the postseason. He's 26 years old. He plays like you want. Like there's nobody that can say I don't want Vladdy on my team. The way that guy plays, and like the way his attitude is, like he's a damn near a perfect baseball player. So shout out Vladdy, man. And not that I didn't have respect for him before, or like baseball fans didn't before, but I think everyone now just is really like, okay, you're one of the guys.
Yeah, and I'm almost mad at myself for not like, he's 26, man. Like talking about a guy when they're 23 and I don't know, man. I kind of didn't grow up until I was 31. I don't know, 51. I'm still hoping it's coming. That I don't know. I'm going to be interested to see how he reacts to this because he's already grown up so much in the past couple years that I don't know. Is this going to be the scar that leaves him driven to show what he can do day in, day out for 162 and have that OPS in the 9s, or like he can one dot, like the way this guy plays, he's invincible when he wants to be. And then to Bichette's free agency and the pitching staff. And
that's
Max
what
Scherzer should have his shirt off right now. Trev,
Blue Jays have to take care of Bo Bichette. You have to. You have to. It's got to be Andres Gimenez and Bo Bichette either at second base or at third base. I don't know.
that's the gross part, man. Max Scherzer and Shane Bieber could be cracking beers and gross. What else do you have, Coach Trev?
Thank you to all our listeners.
Yeah, man.
Throughout the year. I mean, we love doing this show, and it becomes a grind from time to time because it takes a lot of work, and we don't always get it right, man. It's hard to follow every single game, every single day of the year, and you guys let us know, and we're fine with that. We truly do our best. We have one of the best researchers in the game, Dalton Feely, keeping us informed, and Rob Sirocco making sure that we can put out content whenever it needs to be done. I do it on the road. Jake, does it at home from time to time. The setups aren't always ideal, but we got two guys really working really, really hard, and we do it because we have we have a great community, and we've always had a great community, and it's something I'm very thankful for. So, if this is us signing off for a 2025 season, I really want to thank everybody.
Yeah, man.
For sticking with us.
It's nuts. The whole thing is insane. Sometimes I forget, like I'll meet a person in society and they're like, "What do you do?" I'm like, "Yeah, like this is what I do." So like, thank you to everyone. I know it sounds corny, but it's super real when we're actually doing it. And yeah, Dalton and Rob this postseason have been unreal. Our socials team, we don't get them.
Socials team, yes.
They never get enough love because they just grind so hard. I guess sales team, everyone. It's John Boy Media and what this has turned into. My guy Jamalama Ding Dong, he wishes he could be here more, but my God, that guy, he makes babies and he makes breakdowns and he makes the warehouse and he does everything. That I know you and me miss him and want to get him on here a little more, but it's tough. And a thank you for myself as well. Like it's been a crazy year or two for me on and off the field, and it's cool to have a career that sometimes I can get lost in to get away from. There's times when that's not healthy for me, and I have to deal with real life. But it's the coolest thing. So thank you guys. We will be back. I don't fucking know. Not Monday. Not Tuesday.
We're taking that off.
We'll figure it out with our sales crew. Jeremy, we love you guys. Thank you.
Hey, thank you, Coach.
My guy. Brothers. Brothers fight.
Brothers fight. Fight or fuck. That's what we do.
I was wondering if you would drop it. What do you think that LA trip was about?
In the bathroom in the 15th inning? What?
Knew that'd get you.
Wow.